It hit me this morning when I put in the directions to Terrell Mill, which was a lot easier than putting in WG5.973EW whatever. I see someone, there you go, someone remembers what we used to have to do. Yeah, wow, 20 years later. Thanks everybody for still coming out. We started the very first meeting 20 years ago just to see if there were any other people in the metro Atlanta area that might have any interest in getting together on a weekend to talk about this thing, geocaching, because at that time really the experience was all online. We've been doing it for several years. Here on the local scene, Gene Garrison, a buddy, and I put this together, and we met, I think it was in this actual pavilion, and just asked, God, we had over 20 folks here. Was there a number in the old log entry for how many showed up?
Are you looking that up?
He's looking it up. He's my statistician over here.
But yeah, it turned out one of the first things we asked at the end was, does anyone have any interest in coming up? Anyone have any interest in sort of making this go forward? And yeah, we had 5 of us that formed the initial steering committee. God bless those of y'all who are still serving. Is it still limited to 2 years? Which means that 2 years is all you can stand it before you say, somebody else do this. How many people showed up?
Logs, 8 logs were the very first one.
8 logs.
Yeah.
So 8 of us cared enough to go back home and log it, even though we had 20 some odd people. But it's wild that this is technically on the books the oldest group that's going. Because the only aspiration we had was just to see if there was enough people in the metro Atlanta area that had interest. I will admit, in a fantasy of mine, saying, wouldn't it be cool if this turned into something 20 years later? But seriously, I thank y'all for welcoming me here today, and thank Deanne for reaching out.
Everybody, I'm with a founder of the GGA. You've seen him in a video earlier, but here he is today. Could you tell me how you ended up starting up the GGA?
I was sitting at home, had noticed on the geocaching.com website there was a new type of cache called an event, and thought, you know, it'd be neat for people in the metro Atlanta area to get together and to have an opportunity to talk about what we were doing in the woods and maybe share ideas, and that's how the first one got started.
All right, how did you guys get together, and like, how many people got together when you guys first started the GGA, like when you guys went out for caches here and there and out and about?
I think we had about 20, maybe 25 people show up at the first one. I heard earlier during the meeting there were only 8 of us that actually logged that first event meeting, but hey, everything was new. We weren't sure what we were supposed to do back then. But yeah, that grew from the first meeting, grew into an actual organization, the GGA. I think we actually named it that first meeting. Came up with the idea of, we didn't want actual officers with you know, president, vice president, so we decided to have a very loose structure and named it a steering committee, which would sort of guide the group. I think we decided on 5 people for that, myself and 4 others that were present either at the first or second meeting, and ultimately decided that we'd have 2-year terms, and that sort of led us, and I was part of it for the first 2 years, and from what I can see, at least at this 20th meeting, sort of the structure we set up sort of has kept up the last 20 years. It looks like the same purpose that we set it up for, that is getting, helping peers, and peers helping other people get into it. Sort of the peers who have been the youth for the group throughout its 20 years.
Now, did you guys go out in groups, like after the events, and go for caches that were actually activated?
There would be some who would do so. Like today, we might have a hunt going on during the meeting. There would be some meetings, there was the purpose of at the end getting together as groups or smaller groups going out and hunting. And then sometimes folks would just get together on an ad hoc basis as they wanted to go out and hunt either a cache based on where we were meeting or maybe other ones in the area.
Thank you for joining me, sir.
Thank you.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.